Welcome to the Lethal Voice Podcast, a deep voice documentary series about the grit, hustle, heartbreak, and strange victories that come from making bold indie stories under impossible odds. I'm Robert Christopher Smith, filmmaker, writer, actor, and the original Lethal Voice. This show is the behind-the-scenes voice of everything I do, from vertical series like Karma Mechanic, to our mythic horror, Succubus Next Door, to the pig-masked MAGA mayhem of Spread, Pigs to Slaughter. But our first arc is about where it all began. The feature that taught me what I was made of, and very nearly broke me finding out. Vengeance Turns. We're calling this season Turning to Vengeance, a look at the journey of making a grindhouse revenge western with no stars, no money, and for a while, no horses and not even a location. And this is episode 1, the end of fun and the start of vengeance. This starts our first chapter, putting the cart before the horse. Let's rewind to about 2017. I was still living in San Diego, and I had just finished my first real feature film script called The End of Fun. I thought it was the one, and in some ways, I still do. I even got the chance to shoot this thing, but I never released it. And there's more than one reason for that, but one primary reason is a guy that we call the Crooked Brazilian. All hat, no cattle. Said he was connected. Claimed he was working with big names. And for a few months, I believed him. I was making regular drives from San Diego, California to Malibu to work on not just our film, The End of Fun, but also this new screenplay that he was supposedly developing about his own life, something that he swore would change both our careers. But every trip out there, every note session, every promise of just one more meeting, something felt off. Eventually, I realized he was full of smoke. Another Hollywood mirage, and this one with a passport. But buried in those canyon drives between cities was something real. I started thinking about my childhood, the old westerns that inspired me to become a filmmaker, movies like The Outlaw, Josie Wales. And I started thinking about what a modern revenge western might look like. And that's where the seed of Vengeance Turns was planted. The image of a woman lifting her cowboy hat up and looking into the camera the way that Clint Eastwood had in those cowboy movies. This thing was born not on a soundstage, not in some screenwriting lab or a fancy studio somewhere, but in the middle of being conned by a two-bit hustler in a rented house on the wrong side of Malibu, California. Now, here's the twist. The Crooked Brazilian's worst decision, crossing paths with me, led to one of my best. Because of him, I met David Ruano, a cinematographer, a fearless cinematographer, I should say, a producer, a great tech guy, just an all-around damn good human being. David was also getting jerked around by the Crooked Brazilian. But unlike me, David had a camera and was fearless using it. And we had a similar work ethic and a similar focus. So we started talking. And then we started scheming. We actually decided we would move forward with this crazy idea I had to film a female-led Western. And for some reason or another, I convinced David that we would cast this thing, we would call it Vengeance Turns, and we would cast it before the script was even done. Why? Because we wanted our lead actress to co-write the movie with me, of course. We didn't want just a performer. We wanted a partner. We wanted someone who could shape the character of Rebecca Falcone from the ground up with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Amanda Walsmith.
So I had actually just done a reality show called Hunted, which was on CBS. And it was a reality show, just kind of a fun game show where you could get law enforcement skills and kind of play this really amazing, great adult hide-and-seek game. Kind of see people go on the lam, and they all say they can, outrun law enforcement. So I had just done that, and I had worked with some amazing people and kind of gotten in this bug to really be in the entertainment industry. But being in front of the camera was great, but it wasn't really exactly what I wanted to do. I liked writing. I loved movies and different things like that. So I kind of started searching around, and I saw this ad on, and they were looking for people to be a part of this Western that was a female-driven Western, and that was just right up my alley, having grown up in New Mexico and Texas. And so I reached out, and a budding friendship ensued.
That voice, that was Amanda Walsmith. She was Amanda Fry at the time. You might know her from the CBS reality series she was talking about called Hunted. She auditioned, we connected, and she really blew our minds with her offer. Her family owned a ranch, the Silver Spur Guest Ranch, down in Bandera, Texas. It's the kind of place with actual horses, dusty barns, real sunsets, and just gorgeous. We didn't wait. We went right down there. Me and David drove to Texas from California, and we headed to Bandera. We stayed for a few days. We looked around, scouted locations. We filmed our very first sizzle reel, and the energy was raw. We shot day and night, and most of that was on instinct. We were still just kind of finding the characters. Here is the sizzle reel.
You don't know me. But you took my life from me. You took her from me. You took everything from me. And I will make you pay. And my face will be the last thing you see.
We also made a short film while we were in Bandera called Cut. Amanda, David, and I wrote it. I scripted it, and David and I helped Amanda direct it. David ran the camera, and it was really just our trial by fire, and I got to act in it, which was a lot of fun. It proved something to us, that we could make something from nothing.
Seeing you out there walking was one of those for real speak of the devil moments. You know what I mean? And my buddy here was just talking about hitchhiking, and there you were, just like that, just while we were talking about it.
Well, what we was actually talking about is how dangerous hitchhiking was.
You're taking a big chance doing what you're doing out there. You know that, right?
Shoot, I hitchhiked a lot before they had goober and lift a car. Nothing bad ever happened to me.
Well, son, look at you. You're so ugly, you'd make a freight train take a dirt road. Unlike this one here.
You're far too pretty to be taking rides with strangers.
It's always a risk.
Once we were back in LA, we kept the momentum going. We did more promo shoots, we kept the auditions going, and we were continuing to work with some of the people that we met during the original casting for Rebecca Falcone. Actresses like Kelsey Jaffer and Shira Barber, where Kelsey had done an amazing audition for Rebecca Falcone. She had this spark that we couldn't ignore, but we just didn't see her as Rebecca. So we created a role literally specifically for her. We worked with her, developed it just for her, a role of a character called Delicate Poison. Shira hosted one of the early test shoots that we did out at her place in Eagle Rock. It was a short film that we called Taker. It was written by me and Kelsey, and that's still out there. It's available on YouTube. You can watch it in amazing black and white or in color. It's scrappy. It's gloriously imperfect, just like Cut, but it helped us test tone and style and really kind of start flexing our collaborative muscles. All this, the failed project, the fake producer, the dusty Texas sizzle, the scrappy short films, all of it led to the chaotic and unglamorous birth of Vengeance Turns. But you know what? We're just getting started. Because over the next several weeks on Turning to Vengeance, I'm going to walk you through everything that followed. The false starts, the heartbreaks, the wins, the weirdness. Every beard-growing, horse-chasing, couch-crashing moment of it. Next week, we stay in the thick of this chapter, putting the cart before the horse. You'll hear the stories behind the original casting process, how Amanda Walsmith first landed that role, what made us fall in love with Kelsey and consider her, and Shira too, and how each of their auditions helped shape the soul of this film. I've even dug up their original audition tapes, and you'll get to hear moments from those auditions. They're raw, unfiltered, and in some cases, I think, unexpectedly moving. Because making Vengeance Turns wasn't just about building a script. It was about our finding a voice together. And that voice, that lethal voice, started with the women who stepped up to play Rebecca Falcone. And I can really never say enough good things about Amanda, Kelsey, or Shira. They will, all three, always hold a very special place in my heart as I continue through this career. Don't forget, Vengeance Turns Volume 1 and Volume 2 are streaming for free right now on Tubi. Go, watch them, rate them, and please share them with everyone you know. And if you want more behind the scenes stuff, the whole sizzle reel, the short films, the original scripts, subscribe, become a member, procrastinate with us at procrastagram.com. Until next time, keep your hat low, your camera rolling, and your hopes just delusional enough to survive this crazy town we call Hollywood.